What do you feel like the role of technology should be in the classroom?
I think technology in the classroom should be a tool, just like any other tool, paper, that it shouldn't be an addition. And I think it should be an expectation that there's technology there for them to use as a tool.
So the expectation that it is a tool in the classroom. Do you feel like there are other expectations for other tools in the classroom?
I do. I feel like, when a student goes to school or a teacher's teaching, they know there's going to be book resources. There's going to be paper and pencil and whiteboards and that.
And so you want the same level of expectation, or maybe a different level of expectation, for these technology tools in the classroom.
I think it'd be nice if we got to that point where they just knew that it was going to be part of their toolkit and they could use it as needed. They didn't have to schedule special time to get technology, or we only get to use technology for 1 hour a day.
Right.
I have to see if the lab's open next Wednesday.
And so when you're thinking about sort of the tools, a pencil or a book or things like that, there are specific things that you can do with them, right? Is technology in the same way? Like there are specific things you should be using technology for, or is it a different type of tool for you?
That's a good question. I think there's so many ways you could use technology. So you could even use it to do some of the things you do with pencils. You could do your writing. You could read books on it, but I think it should be more to enhance what you're already doing. And this summer when I was at the ISTE conference, one of the keynote speakers talked about how electricity used to be something special, and now it's everywhere, but it's invisible. And I would like to see technology be that way. It's all over the classrooms, but it's just there. You use it as you need it. I didn't really answer your question.
Well, but I think the idea of how we use pencils, right? I would like to get to that point to it where it's just there, and I need this tool, I need to research, I need to look up and find out about this, and I can grab the computer or the iPad or whatever the case is, look it up, then go on with my work. Or one of the big things that I see technology providing is giving students more voice, giving all students voice, because when you're talking in the classroom and Ben keeps raising his hand and talking all the time, and somebody over there doesn't get an answer. There's so many different ways you can get everybody to answer now, with a lot of the different applications. And I think when you're checking for understanding with students, it's really important to check everybody's understanding and not just assume that because Ben got it, everybody did. And I think it helps those quiet kids that may have something great to say do it in a safe way. And so you see technology as a tool, not only just sort of in the classroom, but for specifically providing students with voice, or hearing those voices of the kids in the classroom. I think
that's really important. And also, my two big things are student voice and choice. So they get some choices of different ways of presenting things. Maybe they want to write on paper. Maybe they want to do it on the computer. Maybe they want to do a presentation. They have different ways of expressing their understanding or what they know about something.
And so that brings it to another level of not only are you choosing how you want to sort of consume the information and sort of do those things, but also how you want to engage with it and to express it. And so what do you feel like these technology tools allow you to do in terms of expressing your learning or demonstrating your learning that you couldn't do before?
Maybe a kid isn't as great at writing it out his thoughts, or maybe they could draw their thoughts. And I know they could do that on paper too, but they could make a digital representation. They could do a chart, to show their understanding of something.
Nice. So that's a pretty good sort of answer to the role of technology in the classroom. I'm also interested in what your questions are that you've really been grappling with. What is one question that you feel like really needs to be answered by APS?
I know that money's always an issue, but how can we put technology in all classrooms and provide that opportunity for all students? I'm sure that it'd be nice if we had the money to do that, but I feel like some students have opportunity to be on it, multiple times a day and use it, just like I said, as a tool when they need it. And others have to beg and borrow to even have access to it. So my big thing is, how can we make that for all students in APS and all teachers as well? I have teachers that would like to implement it, but they don't have the resources so much. So what method could we use to make it equitable throughout the whole district?
And so it really is a concern of equity at that point, that where kids who need, or adults in the building who need these tools in order to learn, that they don't have access.
Right.
And the tools themselves, right? Like you've made mention of sort of computers and iPads and Chromebooks and things like that. Do you feel like that the school or the district, us as APS, has to provide those tools, or do you think that we can allow kids and adults to bring their own and support that?
I would like to be able to support it, because there's a lot of kids with that in their pockets, with that tool that they could answer some questions, they could share their voice, and sometimes they're not, most of the time it's, put away. I understand some concerns that people have about kids having cell phones or their own devices, but I think if we do it properly and set up expectations, stick with those expectations of it's used as a learning tool when you're in the classroom, that it could really be much better for a lot of people.
I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.